Minor League Baseball on the show for you now as we present coverage from the AAA East. Tonight, the opener of a 3-game series between the Gwinnett Stripers and the Columbus Clippers. The Stripers have won 5 games in a row. They'll look for number 6 right after this. Tanner Tully, a lefty from Indiana, is on the mound here. What do we need to know here, Danny?
Hey, Matt, it's not easy to bunch anything together against this guy. In his last 3 starts, he has a whip of under 1.10. So we may see some hit and run, we may see some bunting, and we may see some running, because if you want to lay around and try to get hits off this guy, that's not the right thing to do. One of the top pitchers in the game right now.
And now here is Tyson Randolph. First chance for him here in the top of the first with nobody on.
Here you go.
Pitch on the way.
Nope. Ball.
Fellas are home 9 as they begin play here this evening. They come in trying to rebound after a loss that snapped a modest 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, Matty, I know they lost their last game, but you know as well as I do, in this sport, you have to have short-term memory. You have to let it go. They can get it going back in the right direction today.
Now the 1-1 pitch.
2 balls, 1 striker.
Bounced weakly near the plate. That's a foul ball. The 2-2. Two out, nobody on. Not where he wanted that fastball to be, and it's 3-2 now.
That was kind of a gift to the hitter. He's up there probably thinking of protecting on 2-2, but when you launch a ball that high out of the strike zone, it's obviously easy to take that one.
And this is taken for ball 4, so it's a 2-out walk here in the top of the first. Next up is Tyler Freeman, and he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. Skied into very shallow right. Randolph in a few steps as he takes it, 2 down. So now here is Tyson Randolph looking to put them ahead early with this at-bat. Here's the first pitch to him.
Oh, nice lead.
The offense better get it going right here, because they certainly can tell from their dugout this guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound. He's got feel for all his pitches.
That evens it up, 1-1.
Hey, let her rip right here. Come on, baby. See it. Grab it.
And here's a pitch swung on and missed, 1-2 now.
Looked like he was going to wait him out, see if he was going to come over the heart of the plate. Well, newsflash, he is, and this hitter's going to adjust his batting gloves, and he better be ready in the box.
Still hanging with him. Another good swing to keep it going. Inciarte stands at second with 2 gone.
Right here. Big hit right here. Here we go.
Now a fastball, but that's easy to lay off, and it's back to even at 2-2.
This is a fun guy to watch when he's up there. Really battles. Doesn't take any pitches off. He's a grinder. Always seems to make it difficult on the opposing pitcher.
Not where he wanted that fastball to be, and it's 3-2 now.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
And there's ball 4 as this one gets away a bit. The tag's there, and he's out trying to steal third. Great throw. 1 error in the inning, but it doesn't hurt him. We'll move on to the bottom of inning number 3, and we are tied 0-0. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and standing in is the DH, Daniel Johnson.
The old adage, pitching and defense have been stellar so far. They've certainly kept both offenses in check.
He pulls this one into right, and that finds some outfield grass. It's a base hit. So the leadoff man reaches in their half of the 5th. So only the second hit he's given up tonight.
Well, that's only the second hit he's given up tonight, and the first one didn't do any damage. So he's not sweating this one at all. They haven't been able to string any.
So now to the plate, Tyson Randolph. A couple of walks for him thus far. And a fastball close, but ultimately ruled a ball, 1-0.
Obviously, the game plan wasn't to let this guy beat you right here. He's already walked twice, and that pitch out of the zone tells me they want nothing to do with him.
Can't sit back long enough, and the count evens up at 1-1.
Looked like he was cheating a heater right there, a little bit too far out in front. Gotta find a way to keep his hands back.
Now here's a comebacker back to the mound. And he'll just flip this on to first for the second out of the inning. Now into the box, Tyson Randolph grounded out in his last at-bat.
Like you can, come on.
Looking to keep this a one-run game, the pitch.
No ball.
And that's cut on and missed, 0-1.
Hey, let's go now. You got this.
A late swing on the slider, and quickly it's 0-2.
Not a good at-bat from him so far. He's got the bases loaded out there, but he's been way too aggressive.
But we'll have to press pause as that strike 3 to retire the side. Now back to the top of the lineup. Stepping in, Ray Guillen. He bounced out last time up. Working for the punch out and the offering. Swing and a flare hit toward right. Right fielder coming on. He can't get to it. This one's down. He'll hold it second, and there are 2 aboard now.
Boy, this guy's been swinging a hot stick lately, and there's just another example.
Next to dig in, Tyson Randolph. He went down on strikes in his last at-bat.
And he can't allow the same thing to happen in this situation. This is a big-time spot in this game. He's got to find a way to put the ball in play. This is where you got to empty the bucket out on the mound. Throw your best stuff right here, right now, and try and get out of this. If anything catches outfield.
Meanwhile, this ball gets down. It's a base hit. 1 run is scored. And he is in there.
Hey, Dero, that's a big RBI right there to stretch this lead to 3. Takes a lot of pressure off your pitcher going into the bottom part of the inning.
Yeah, Dan, no doubt. As an offense, all you're trying to do is put your pitchers in positions to be successful. Giving them that 3-run cushion has to make.
And he just keeps on going and going. That's save number 35 for the season. And he's proven to be as reliable as anyone in the game.
And tonight's ends as a 3-0 shutout win. Gwinnett jumped ahead in the 7th inning and never gave the lead back. Huskar Yinawa records his 14th winning decision of the season. Tanner Tully is settled with a loss after giving up only 1 earned. Carl Edwards Jr. hammers down the save, his 35th of the campaign. So that'll put a wrap on things here this evening. For my partners Dan Plesac and Mark DeRosa, I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been a special presentation of MLB The Show. For more, follow us on Twitter at MLB The Show.
Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 36 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this evening. We remind you to please drive home safely.
Welcome to MLB The Show in this presentation of minor league baseball. Tonight, the second of 3 to start the week between the Gwinnett Stripers and the Columbus Clippers. The Stripers look for their 7th straight victory. Next. Josh Wolf is on the mound for game 2. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, this guy has a 4-pitch repertoire, right? And those are a lot of nice options to have. You can go hard, soft. You can go in and out. And anytime you have 4 pitches, if you can throw them for strikes, you have the big advantage.
Batting third.
At the plate now is Tyson Randolph. He drove in 2 of his club's 3 runs in last night's affair. And he takes ball one. Fellas, you take a look at our homestanding ball club as they come into this one tonight. They come in looking to turn things around as they've dropped 2 straight.
Yeah, Matty, these players got in their cars today to drive to the stadium focused on one thing. Not who was going to be the hero, just the fact that they needed a W and that one of their teammates, whether it's them or someone else, has to come up with a big knock.
Very high, 2-1.
Great chance right here as a hitter to be really aggressive. With 2 guys already on, pretty good shot. He's going to get a challenge pitch right here.
Oh, double play ball to second. 4, 6, 3, and they turn the double play.
Not what you expect from your 3-hole hitter when the first 2 guys get on base. That's pretty deflating. But now we'll see if the cleanup guy can still pick up the runner at third.
Now to the plate, Fernando Mendoza.
The third baseman, Fernando Mendoza.
Hit in the air down the right field line. And that'll get down for a base hit. And this will find the wall deep in the corner. And he'll coast into second here with a 2-out double.
When it left his bat, I thought it might squirt foul, but it hugged the line and found its way into the corner. Thought it might be a little bit closer play at second, but he cruised in there with relative ease.
And the next batter will be Mike Freeman. He was hitless in the shutout last night.
Mike Freeman.
The 2-2. This one's flared off to the right side. Here comes the right fielder. He can't get there as it falls in. And he's safe.
I mean, that has to frustrate the guy on the mound right there. You get him down 0-2, no put-away pitch, works the count back to neutral, and is able to mix in a base hit. Nice job.
Top of the third set to get underway. And standing in the outfielder, Tyson Randolph. First delivery to him.
Oh, all right, great take, kid. 1-0.
1-0 count. Here it is. First 2 pitches off the mark here. It's 2-0.
2-0.
Outside, 3-0 now.
I'm pretty surprised by the location on those last 3 pitches. The book on him is that he hits the away pitch pretty well, and he just saw 3 in a row out there.
So does he go back out there again?
No, Matt, I expect him to mix it up. Most catchers won't call for the same location over and over and over. Well, that is definitely not the way to start an inning. One thing to give up a walk, but to do it on 4 pitches is pretty alarming. He looks a little thrown off right now.
And now Tyson Randolph.
Now batting, the right fielder.
Now the first pitch.
Randolph.
Swing and a miss out in front of a changeup.
Great execution of that changeup right there. Great arm action. Batter was totally out front on that one.
Fastball misses inside. It's even at 1. Now the 1-1 pitch is looked at for ball number 2.
Hey, let her fly, let her fly.
1 out, nobody on. He's fallen behind now, 3-1.
Good job to work the count and put himself back in the driver's seat. Started off with 1 strike, and now he's got the count in his favor, 3-1.
There's the good fastball, and he can't catch up. 3-2.
When you get yourself to a 3-1 count and you get a fastball, those are the ones you really want to punish. Couldn't get the bat on it, so we'll see if that comes back to haunt him.
And this is handled easily, so quickly 2 are gone here to start the 5th. So next to bat will be Owen Miller. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. Hit in the air down the right field line. Right fielder is on the run. He gets there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. So they go quietly here in this half inning. We're through 5 here at the ballpark. The Stripers on top, 2-0. So next to hit is Bo Naylor. Third
Now
trip to
batting,
the plate for him here tonight. 0 for 2 at this point. Ready to deal. Here's the 1-1. Line drive base hit. And that runner will hold up at second with 2 aboard now. Definitely not the way he was looking to start this inning, Dan.
Yeah, Matt, back-to-back base knocks right off the bat here. As we take a look at the numbers, you see they aren't that bad, but he's definitely...
So the next to bat will be Tyson Randolph. Flew out last time up. And now the first pitch. And this is taken outside for ball 1.
1-0.
Now the 1-0.
No, that's it.
It's a lot easier to hit when you're putting yourself in good hitters' counts. This guy's done a great job not swinging at pitchers' pitches. And when he's getting the ball in his zone, he's getting the barrel to it. He's been hot lately.
3-0 now.
Every base runner in a close game like this really matters. So you can't afford to be giving out free passes this late.
Taking all the way, and that's what you call a plausible strike there. It's 3-1 now.
Now that's a really curious pitch selection. 3-0 and turned to the slider. You have to wonder if maybe he's lost the feel for his fastball.
3-2 now. Still hanging with him. Another good swing to keep it going. The 3-2 one more time. Yanked on the ground down the line. But this will get foul, so they'll do it again. 3-2. The payoff pitch one more time. Fly ball right down the line in left. Left fielder is on the move. He gets to it and makes the catch for the first out. Now to bat, Tyson Randolph. He flew out in his last AB. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Oh, and a hearty cut there to begin the at-bat. It's 0-1. Lays off the slider, and it's 1-1. And he's behind now as he missed badly on that swing. 1-2.
Man, that pitch had the look of a fastball. Straight changeup, and the bottom fell out of it.
Misses. Ball 2.
Hey, that's a nice take by the batter right there, but that's a non-competitive off-speed pitch. Got to do better to at least entice a swing.
Full count now. 3-2.
We could see the runner in motion here on a 3-2 count with 1 out. There's a pretty good chance he's going to get a pitch.
Oh, a great diving stoppage short. There's one. Relay to first in time, and just like that, this side is retired. 1 hit's all they get. Not too many more shots left. Home half of the 8th coming up. Gwinnett leads it 6-0. Bottom of inning number 8 set to go. And digging in is the outfielder, Ray Guillen.
Hey, this is where you go up there and you just focus on doing your job. Turn the scoreboard off in your head. I know you're down a lot, but you have to have one quality at bat followed by another quality at bat. Don't give any outs away. No ABs go unnoticed.
Wow, what a week for these guys. Talk about firing on all cylinders. Winners of an amazing 7 games in a row. They say to never question the streak, and these guys aren't. They're just enjoying this ride.
A 6-0 shutout to finish off tonight's game. The Gwinnett Stripers took the lead in the 2nd inning and rode that until the very end. Bryce Wilson hangs win number 11 on his line. So that's a wrap for us here tonight. For my partners in the booth, Mark DeRosa and Dan Plezak, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. And for more, click over to theshow.com.
Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 54 minutes.
Future stars are on display as minor league baseball comes your way on The Show. Tonight we wrap up this 3-game series between the Gwinnett Stripers and the Columbus Clippers. The Stripers are looking to collect their 8th win in a row next. Daniel Espino starts the game on the mound for the 3rd and final game of the series. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
Hey, Matt, we're getting a look at a guy that's really been struggling lately. In his last 3 starts, he has a whip of over 1.50. Lots of base runners, lots of hits, and lots of walks, and that doesn't add up to very good performances. So he's going to look to turn things around in this one here today.
Guys, we take a look at the home 9 as they take the field tonight. They come off another loss last time out, and in fact, they've dropped 3 of their last 4.
Yeah, Matt, things haven't gone too well so far in this series, D-Row. They're looking to avoid the sweep here in this one.
Yeah, they got to get off in the early innings. It's going to be monumental if they can push a few runs across and give this pitcher a chance to relax.
And that is through into right field for a single. All set for the start of the 4th, and striding forward the designated hitter, Tyson Randolph.
They've gotten a gut punch to start this game. There's no doubt about this, but that's when you have to turn the scoreboards off. Everybody do their job one at bat at a time.
And maybe a little frustrated on the mound here as the fastball misses for ball 2 now.
I love everything this pitcher's got working right now. He's got presence. He's got great body language on the mound. He's got fastball command and a nice early feel for his off-speed stuff.
3-1.
Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating and feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
And he lays off there, ball 4. So the leadoff man is on here to begin stanza number 4.
Well, they haven't been able to scratch a runner.
To the plate now is the designated hitter, Tyson Randolph. And he fouls this one off. The windup and the 0-1. And a changeup here, but that's taken low in the dirt for a ball. In for strike 2. Fastball, and he's got to duck away for dear life there.
Wow, fastball up and in. I'm not sure it was intended to be that far up and that far in, but message sent, beware.
And that's low, so a good eye there as he works the count back full.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
And he struck him out, his 7th of the ball game, and that ends the inning. Make it 6 shutout innings as he continues to give them fits out there. Bottom part of the order, 7, 8, and 9 due up in the home half. The Clippers lead it 5-0. Next will be the designated hitter, Tyson Randolph. He went down looking in his last trip to the plate.
Yeah, Matty, and he was locked up by a good fastball for strike 3 last time. I'm interested to see if they attack him the same way. Come at him with hard velo late or snap something off in the dirt to see if he'll fish.
Swinging a ball hit softly on the ground. Throw to first beats him easily, and the side is retired. So they pick up 3 runs on 3 hits, including the home run. No errors, and no one left on base. Home half of the 8th, straight ahead.
Well, this one had its moments of drama and excitement. In the end, these guys came away with the victory and look on to the next one.
8-3 tonight. The Columbus Clippers led this game from the 3rd inning on and never wavered. Daniel Espino gets to double digits with his 10th win of the year. Nolan Kingham was only able to work 4 innings as he takes the loss. So that's a wrap here tonight. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, this is Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, find us on Twitter at MLB The Show.
Talking with Cliff Floyd, and Cliff, when you're in AAA, those pitchers are making fewer mistakes and they've got a better read on you. You have to be on your toes as a hitter.
No, you do. And you know what? They come to get you. They know you're the big prospect. And if they can get you out, guess what? You know, they get the call, right? So that was my job, just understanding what they was trying to do to me. I was struggling. But when you deal with adversity there, it helps you a tiny bit at the next level. I felt like, in AAA, I was rushing stuff. I wasn't allowing the game to come to me. But once I started seeing a few of the pitches, the second time through, it allowed me to make those adjustments. The biggest thing for me was making adjustments on the fly. I learned at an early age. It helped me just mentally slow everything down and make those adjustments, knowing what a guy was trying to do with me, knowing what situations, was on the horizon. First and third, defense back, ground ball to second base. I know I'm the guy that's supposed to hit the home runs and all this stuff. But if the defense is giving me a ground out to second, take it. Those are things that help you at the big league level.
Time for baseball of the minor league variety as the show brings you coverage from the AAA East. Tonight, the first of this 3-game weekend series between the Columbus Clippers and the Gwinnett Stripers. We've got baseball on the show, and it's coming up next. Tyson Randolph, a right-hander from Illinois, will be the starter here. Dan, any thoughts?
It's pretty easy to see why this guy is one of the top pitchers in all of baseball. He has a ridiculously good whip. How about under .5 on the season? Do you have any idea how hard that is to do that? He's nearly impossible to reach base on. He doesn't walk hardly anybody, and he's awfully tough to get a hit off of. One of the best pitchers in the game of baseball.
Rolando Gil is in to start things off here as he looks at a called strike. It's 0-1. Fellas are home 9 as they begin play here this evening. They come into this one looking to make amends for a loss last time out that put an end to a 7-game winning streak.
Yeah, Matty, this is a nice one. First game of a homestand. You played well on the road. You got a chance to grab a shower and sleep in your own bed last night. I bet you this team comes out on the attack today.
Got him lunging that time as he pushes one on the ground to second. And the off-balance throw beats him at first, and that's a tough play. Next, here is Owen Miller.
Hey, we got one.
First pitch on its way. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Looked like the knuckle curve there, and that's out number 2.
Not a lot of guys throw that knuckle curve, but some guys have a lot of success with it. Some say it has more bite than the traditional curveball, but I think it's more of a feel thing. It just works for certain pitchers, and it worked right there.
So now to the plate, Ray Guillen, as the first pitch here's a bit high. It's ball 1. Well, you don't need us to tell you it's really starting to come down out there. I can't imagine the umpires will let this go too much longer if it doesn't ease up.
Well, you could say that again, Matt. It's raining cats and dogs out there. Make sure you don't step in a poodle. I think it's time to get the grounds crew out.
3-0 to him now. Into the windup and the pitch. There's the fastball that gets the lower part of the zone, called for a strike.
Stealing that strike on 3-0 was important, but you don't want to miss over the heart of it.
Well, the play's been made, and with it comes the end of the inning. Nothing doing here in the opening half inning. So it's on to the bottom of inning number 1. No score. Second inning set to go, and next to bat will be the outfielder, Will Benson.
Hey, Matty, they need to get some offense going in this one. Getting a run back in this inning, give them a little bit of confidence that they can keep up in this game.
And it's fouled away. The windup and the 0-2 pitch. And the screwball got him swinging, one gone. Striding forward now is the DH, Daniel Johnson, and he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for.
Hey, a changeup can be a pretty good pitch on the first pitch. Kind of slow down a good fastball hitter.
Bases are empty, one man out. Got him swinging. Chased it well out of the zone, and there are two gone.
Every pitcher looks to get off to a good start, and I'd say he's off to a good start. How about the first 5 batters he's faced? 3 of them he's sent down via the strikeout.
Into the box, Connor Maribel. As the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball 1. 2 outs already on the K this inning, so he'll be looking to do better. Ball 2.
Sometimes it can be difficult for a pitcher. You're facing a guy that's not known to be a big stick in the lineup. Sometimes the toughest thing is to be aggressive and throw strikes.
Hit out towards second. Throw on to first gets him, and the side is retired. So they're held in check here this half of the inning. On now to the bottom of the second. The Stripers lead it 2-0. Now at the plate is Ryan Lavarnway, and the home-away splits tell us he's actually quite a bit better hitting on the road than he is at home. Too high that time with the inning's first pitch. It's ball 1. Fouled off.
The offense better get it going right here, because they certainly can tell from their dugout this guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound. He's got feel for all his pitches.
The 2-1. Waves and misses for strike number 2.
Here we go, guys. Let's go.
Now a swing and a miss as he picks up another one. Make it 4 strikeouts already, and there's your first out. Up next, Andrew Monasterio.
Batting eighth, the second baseman, Andrew.
Hey, we got one down here, one down.
First pitch of the AB now. And he'll power in a fastball that time at 94 for strike 1.
Shocked he didn't let it fly right there. Usually you're looking for a fastball elevated to get the party started.
Here's the pitch.
Inside, ball 1.
Weak grounder back to the mound. Now he'll bluff a throw to third and go to first instead. And there's out number 2. So stepping in is Roger Chavez. Now a check swing, but it's strike 1 anyway, says the home plate umpire.
Man, this pitcher is on right now, pounding the zone, attacking these hitters. He's making it look easy.
A ball and a strike now. Now the 1-1 pitch.
Two down now.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Grounded to the right. Oh, look at the sliding stop. Not in time. That was a phenomenal stop, but it winds up a base hit, and the inning continues.
Boy, D-Roll, this looked like one of those easy 1-2-3 innings. Next thing you know, a little swinging ground ball and a 2-out infield base hit.
Yeah, it's never too late. You never know when a rally's going to start. It seemed innocent early on. He got 2 quick outs, but now we see traffic at first.
And he falls behind 0-2.
Yeah, you could tell he was ready for another fastball, but the pitcher went to breaking ball, and the hitter just fouls that one off.
And that's through for a base hit. Make him 1 for 2 in this one.
He had him on the ropes right there. Count leverage, 2 strikes against the batter. He's going to have to put that in the memory bank, because that guy made a nice 2-strike approach right there. Made a nice 2-strike adjustment.
Owen Miller will stand in for the second time now as he looks at a called strike. It's 0-1. Called strike on the inside, and he can't believe it at the plate. It's 1-2 now.
That front door slider is a
We'll leave it right there as he strikes out, and that ends the inning. So it's no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left stranded. We'll head now to the home half of inning number 3. The Stripers on top, 2-0. New inning set to get underway, and next it'll be the outfielder, Ray Guillen. Hit hard on the ground to the right. A diving try, but it's through into the outfield.
Dan, after that base hit right there, he's got a 6-game hitting streak going.
You know what? And this could lead him on to some bigger and better things right here. He's been swinging the bat pretty well, and he's been rewarded for it, as you talked about. 6-game hitting streak so far.
And this one's in the dirt.
Come on, fellas, let's go.
And he misses there. 1-2.
Hey, no outs here.
Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. Guillen aboard here at first with nobody out. And a fastball swung on and missed as they set him down for the 2nd time here tonight.
That's his 2nd strikeout of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if a coach finds him in the dugout and gives him a little talk about shortening up and putting the ball in play. Good things tend to happen when you do that in these kinds of conditions.
1-0 the count. In there, 1-1.
Hey, I still believe in my heart the best pitch is a well-executed fastball down and away, and that's exactly what that is. He swings at that. That's off the end of the bat. That's not hard contact at all, and that's an easy out for the defense.
Protecting with 2 strikes, went out of the zone that time, but he stays alive. Screwball, but he lays off, and now the count evens at 2-2. And there's ball 3 on a breaking ball that misses away.
Got to execute a good pitch right here. Runner at first is probably going to be on the move, and you got one of the better hitters on their team up at the plate.
So he ran the fastball by him for the punch out. Daniel Johnson goes down for out number 2 in the top half. At the plate now, Connor Maribel. You'll start him here with a changeup, but it's taken for ball 1. Off the outside that time as the breaking ball can't catch the zone.
Man, that's a great take right there. Backdoor slider just missed the outside corner. This guy must have a really good eye. Most guys swing at that pitch.
Sent foul again, and after being way ahead, now it's even at 2-2. Runners on the move for second. Pitch inside the throw, and it's not in time as he's in well ahead of the throw.
I like the decision to steal right there, and it worked out. With 2 outs, there's not a lot to lose if you get caught, but if you get there successfully, all of a sudden you're just a single to the outfield from pushing a run across.
Did well just to make contact there as he spoils off a good changeup. Pulled high in the air out to right field. He's under it, and that ends the inning. So no runs on a hit here, no errors, 1 man left on. On now to the bottom half of inning number 4. Gwinnett leads it 2-0. All ready to go in the top of the 5th. And next to hit is the catcher, Ryan Lavarnway.
Ryan.
Here we go.
Lavarnway.
Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. Hit softly on the ground to first. He's right there, and he'll step on first for the out. 3 unassisted. Next, it'll be Andrew Monasterio, grounded out in his last at-bat. And he starts the number 8 hitter with a strike, 0-1. 1 out, nobody on. Here's a late swing and a miss, strike 2.
I think a big reason why he's been so effective in this one that he's been just about getting ahead of every hitter. Seems like every one of them are 0-2, 1-2, and it's just about every at bat. And when that's the case, your chances of getting a good pitch to hit are way worse.
Standing in now, Roger Chavez. As a good changeup will get him to commit too early, and it's strike 1. Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. A ball and 2 strikes, the count now with the bases empty and 2 away.
Man, he's in control of all his weapons right here. 1 strike away from 5 shutout innings.
The count now at 2-2. And that misses, so it's a full count, 3-2.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Adrianza will put this one away, and the side is retired. Nothing across here this half. Last half of the 5th coming up. The Stripers lead it 5-0. now at the plate, Rolando Gil. And through 5 turns at bat, they've only mustered a total of 3 hits. Not terrible, but they're certainly not firing on all cylinders.
Well, it's getting a little bit too late in this game if this continues like this. In today's game, with so many dominant bullpen arms, you certainly don't want to wait until the 8th or 9th to try to wake the bats up.
Down low, 2 balls and a strike.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Swinging a ball hit on the ground. Here now the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Really fooled him that time for the first out.
Well, you can tell by their approach that they're going to go up there and try to be aggressive off this guy, but he's taking full advantage of that. He's pounding the zone with strikes, and right now we're seeing a lot of swings and misses and a lot of strikeouts and no walks either.
Into the box now, Owen Miller, as he takes a fastball off the plate for a ball 1-0. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. And this will kick off the third base bag. And now it'll kick around in the corner. And they won't get an out from this as he's able to reach on a play that you just don't see very often.
Hey, they say in this game you better have a short memory. Well, that's obviously the case with this batter. He came into that third at bat after getting his ticket punched twice and was able to get a single.
Got 1 here.
Here's the first pitch as he grounds one briskly to short. One there. On to first, it's a double play. As their woes continue, the inning is over. So no runs on 1 base hit, no errors, and no one left on. Bottom part of the order, 7, 8, and 9 due up in the home half. The Stripers on top, 5-0. So here's the cleanup hitter, Will Benson. He was sat down on strikes in his last at-bat. This is hit the other way out toward left field. Almonte is over toward the line a bit as he takes it for the first out. Digging in will be Daniel Johnson. He went down on strikes last time up.
Yeah, and kind of shocked he got blown away with a fastball. You could tell he was late on that one. And we'll see if he tries to cheat to something this AB.
There's the knuckle curve laid off, 1-1. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1-2. Got him. And that's the 3rd time we've written a K next to his name in this one. What's your take on all the strikeouts we see in the game today, Dan? That was his 3rd tonight, and it seems we're seeing that a lot more these days.
Yeah, Matt, there's been a real change in philosophy as far as hitting in baseball today. A lot of guys think now that an out is an out, a strikeout is just as good as a regular out, but we're seeing strikeouts at an alarming rate in baseball right now.
Connor Maribel is in with 2 away now as he looks at a called strike 1. That's strike 2 on a well-placed changeup around the knees.
So far, this has been a terrific outing for this guy. Throwing well, keeping his pitches to a minimum, locating his fastball to both sides of the plate, good command of the off-speed pitches, very little traffic on the bases. So far, he couldn't have drawn up to be any better than he has been so far in this one.
Neither guy willing to give in, and the at-bat will continue.
Here we go, fellas. Let's go.
2 out, nobody on. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
The classic back foot slider right there with 2 strikes. Usually gets a ton of swing and misses. Nice layoff right there. Fight for another pitch.
And this ball is crushed deep down the right field line. And no one will track it down.
Hey, this is a heck of a battle right here. Long AB. You know what? They find themselves still facing a starter. If they would have had some ABs like this earlier in the game, I think they get into the bullpen by this time.
And he is into second with a 2-out double. Stepping in once again is Ryan Lavarnway, and his guys are looking to erase that donut on the scoreboard with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, Matt, they've been really shut down so far in this one. They've had runners on base, but haven't been able to string anything together.
The set and the 1-1 pitch.
That's inside.
Runner in scoring position at second with 2 down. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. down towards short. Fielded cleanly. And nothing will come of the 2-out double as the inning is over. So they can't make anything out of the 2-out double. We're back to Friday Night Baseball on the show after this. Christopher Hamill has been summoned from the bullpen as he'll do so to start the 8th.
Number 7.
Always nice to get the first game of the series, but even more so when it's in front of the home crowd. Seems to energize everybody the rest of the series.
8-2 tonight's final. The Gwinnett Stripers jumped out to an early lead in the first and never looked back. Tyson Randolph wins his 3rd of the season as he racked up 10 strikeouts in the effort. Jordan Stevens couldn't escape the 4th inning as he slapped with the loss. So that'll just about do it. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been a presentation of MLB The Show. For more, don't forget to check out theshow.com.
No errors. They left 7 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Minor League Baseball is live and on the air on the show. Tonight, Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series between the Columbus Clippers and the Gwinnett Stripers. It's baseball, it's the show, and it comes your way next. Huskar Yinowa will be on the bump for Game 2 of the series. Dan, any thoughts?
Hey, this guy's a fun guy to watch pitch. Not necessarily an overpowering guy. Has an ERA in the low 3s, but one thing he knows how to do, he knows how to pitch and he knows how to minimize damage. If you're going to have an ERA in the low 3s in this day and age, you're doing a lot of things right, and this guy should be fun to watch in this one.
Slapped hard the opposite way, but a little unlucky there as it's hit right to him in right field for the final out of the inning. An inning in the books tonight, still scoreless here on the show. Digging in next, Tyson Randolph, 0 for 1 here in the early going. From the stretch, the fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1, 1-0. Has a look, now the pitch.
Like to see him be looking to the opposite field with this next swing. Pitcher's trying to work you away.
Now the 2-0. Down low, and the plot thickens here, 3-0. Jalen Miller will be next.
Yeah, we need you right here, one time.
And that's in there, 3-1.
Now that's a really curious pitch selection. 3-0 and turned to the slider. You have to wonder if maybe he's lost the feel for his fastball.
This is on the ground over to first. Reined in. Only play will be to the pitcher covering, and the runner will advance to third now. Striding in is Tyson Randolph. He bounced out last time up. Sent in the air out to straightaway center. Gill is there, so 2 pitches and 2 outs thus far. Last half of the 7th here, and striding forward the designated hitter, Tyson Randolph. Right there for strike 1.
You got to love guys auto taking you 0-0 if you're on the mound. You could steal that first strike and now you go to work, just picking apart the corners.
Hit out towards second. Scooped up. Throw to first is in time for the first out.
Hey, this was a pretty tightly played game. Got a little bit of everything in this one. Some timely hitting, runs on the board, key pitching, and defense in certain spots. This one was a fun one to watch.
3-2 the finish in tonight's game. Gwinnett took the lead in the 2nd inning and rode that until the very end. Huskar Yinowa earns win number 15 on the year. Carl Edwards Jr. wraps it up for the save, number 36 on the season. So that'll put a wrap on things here this evening. From my partners Dan Plesac and Mark DeRosa, I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been a special presentation of MLB The Show. For more, follow us on Twitter at MLB The Show.
Thank you for joining us here this evening. We remind you to please drive home safely.
Welcome welcome to MLB The Show and this presentation of minor league baseball. Today, the finale of this three-game weekend series between the Columbus Clippers and the Gwinnett Stripers. It's baseball on the show, and it's coming up next.
Gwinnett Striper.
Bryce Wilson gets the ball in Game 3 of the series. Dan Plesac, what's the word on him?
Hey, Matt, we're getting a look at a guy that's really dependable. Last 3 starts, ERA just under 3.00, and that's some pretty good pitching. Minimizes the amount of walks, keeps his hits down, and if he can do more of the same of that, he should have some pretty good fortune in this one here today.
The shortstop.
So coming to the plate, Owen Miller showing some definite confidence at the plate right now, and his recent numbers are reflecting that. Into right field, that's a base hit.
Boy, you see that happen quite a bit at the big league level, Dero. Breaking ball up and away, hit for a bullet for a base hit.
Yeah, Dan, you try and look for it to pop out above the pitcher's hand. That usually signifies.
Ready now is Tyson Randolph. Took an 0 for 4 in the victory last night. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. A swing and a drive sent out toward the gap. Gone! So a 2-run shot to left center. Home run number 2 for him on the year as we are all knotted up at 2.
Well, that lead didn't last very long. Great swing of the bat right there to get your team right back in it and tie this one up.
Now it'll be Owen Miller. He singled and scored in his first appearance in this one.
Owen Miller.
Fly ball out toward right field. And this is hauled in just shy of the track out there for out number 2. Next to hit, Tyson Randolph. Off to a fine start in this one after launching a homer his first time up. Fouled away. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Swing and a high fly ball out to left field. Looking up is the left fielder. And a leaping effort at the wall, but it's in vain. A home run. A solo shot here to left. His second home run of the game. As they have taken the lead, it's now 3-2.
Second home run of the game right there. He is locked in at the plate. You hear so many of today's players talk about rhythm and timing. Well, he is perfectly on time in the heart of the zone.
Tyson Randolph steps in once more as we look back at the big game he's already had. He got off to a fast start with 2 homers in the early going. First pitch of the AB now. The 1-0. Hit on the ground to third. Fielded cleanly. And the throw to first is in time. 1 gone. So here is Trenton Brooks. It's been an 0 for 2 effort for him to this point.
No, you're only down 1 right here, but the exploding stuff that's coming out of the back end of a lot of teams' bullpens. I mean, just north of 95 plus.
Next, it'll be Will Benson. He was retired via the ground ball last time up. The 1-1 home. Heading out towards shallow right. Randolph will come in a bit and put it away for the second out of the inning. Stepping up is Trenton Brooks. Flew out last time up.
The left fielder, Trenton Brooks.
The 2-1. Is hit very well to right. This one's hammered, and it's going to go. That one is gone. A 2-run blast to straightaway right field, and it's now a 1-run ball game.
Normally this matchup is the last thing you want to see, left on left, but he kept his front shoulder square, stayed in that at bat, and absolutely demolished that baseball.
Next up, Tyson Randolph grounded out in his last at-bat.
Yeah, Matty, expect this pitcher to try and get the same result as his last at-bat right here. The double play is in order. Anything on the ground, the way this defense is, they could certainly roll too. This is why the manager pencils these guys in the middle of the order. Big spot, time for them to get back in this game with a couple quality ABs.
Now a changeup in on the hands that evens it at 1-1. As we near the end of this one, it's clear the long ball has played a big role in today's outcome. Dan, D-Row, what are your final thoughts on what we've seen?
Yeah, just non-competitive pitches in some big situations, Dan, and the offense took full advantage.
Yeah, you know, D-Row, one of the things about pitching is you want to have location, and it was obvious in this one today that the pitchers weren't on point, and what happens when that happens? Hitters make you pay, and the long ball was a big part of this one here.
Hits are even at 7 apiece.
Let her rip. Here we go.
And a good take there. Close, but it's 2-2.
Come on, big guy.
Man, this guy's a grinder. Fouls off good pitches and doesn't seem to swing at the ones just off the corner. This guy's a pitcher's nightmare.
And he might have another one as this is hit high and deep out to left. And that is off the wall. The relay, the tag, and he is out at second.
Well, he clearly thought he had a shot at 2 on the hit, but they did a nice job in the outfield of getting it in quick to cut him down. Yep, just another successful day at the office for these guys. But this one has a little bit of added significance, as that's win number 82 for them on the year, so they're assured of finishing the season with a winning record.
A 1-run finish, 4-3, the final tally today. Columbus came through late, taking the lead in the 8th to secure the victory. Heath Hembry claims the win out of the pen, his first. Brian Shaw records the save, his 44th of the season. So that'll just about do it for us this afternoon. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plezak, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to the new website, theshow.com.
Time of the ball.
Guys, there have been plenty of players who can hit AAA pitching, and then they get to the big leagues, and they can't hit Uncle Charlie, and that's the end of it. I mean, there's plenty of guys. There's a litany of them in the history of the sport. Take it easy. Take it easy. All right, he's playing well. I'll grant you that. A nice job. I like what I see. But the pitchers have not adapted to him yet, and when they do and find some weak spots, he's going to have to readjust back. And let me see him do that a couple times before I'm ready to say he's going to be a 10-time All-Star in the Major Leagues. All right? He's not a Hall of Famer yet. Huh? I mean, calm down just a bit. My goodness, the hype machine. We can't let these players just develop at their own pace. We have to rush everything. Take it easy.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is available. And let me know in the comments what you think, or roast me for my terrible gameplay. Videos like this are recorded live on Twitch. Follow my socials and my Twitch to know when I'm live recording new content for YouTube. Again, thanks for watching the Prophet Loki 309 YouTube. I'll see you in the realm of mischief.